Number 8, Alabama is traveling to Columbia, Missouri to take on number 14, Mizzou at noon on ABC. A line currently is, I think, Alabama -3, seemed -2.5 in a couple of spots too. Since 2023, Missouri is 17-1 straight up at home and 11-8 against the spread. And since 2022, Mizzou is 5-1 against the spread as a home dog, 12-6 against the spread as an underdog, period. For me, this one's simple, man. Missouri's got the number 2 pressure rate in the country. Can they get pressure on Ty Simpson?
Mhm.
If they can, they're going to have extremely good chance to win this game.
Yep.
If they can't, Ty's going to do what Ty does and what he's done to everybody else, and he's going to pick them apart. And there's not much you can do about it. Not much anybody can do about it, save for possibly Ohio State or, an elite defense like that. The other thing, too, obviously you got to look at is on the Missouri side of the ball, can Bo Perbula cause some problems? Because obviously we talked about it's more, defense is a little transition from the Nick Saban days, obviously. So it's going to be like a Kirby Smart defense. So we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But can that running quarterback pose some problems a la Tommy Castellanos, what he did earlier? And Diego Pavia, the first half last year used his legs a little bit. They had the running game going a little bit. Can Alabama stop Ahmad Hardy in that third-ranked rushing offense in the country? Because their defense, they're 113th in allowing explosive rush rates. They're also 98th in third down conversion rates allowed. Alabama's defense is. So, but again, it's all about if Missouri can get pressure on Ty Simpson, they're going to have a really good shot. If the offensive line for Alabama bows up and gives him time to throw and time to find his guys, he's going to be really good. But one noted podcaster, media guy, college football guy out there said that this game for the Alabama offensive line will be much, much harder than when they play the Georgia defensive line.
I don't disagree, man. Zion Young and Damon Wilson. Damon Wilson transferred from Georgia. Those 2 edge rushers from Mizzou can get after you, no doubt. But dude, this is what's so fascinating about this. This is another game that there's going to be so many people that's going to sit around this week and talk about, well, who's Mizzou played, who they beat, and they're going to show up and Bama's going to show them. They finally they run into somebody, and maybe that's the case. But what you really should be talking about between these 2 teams is, again, this is a matchup between 2 really dang good football teams with 2 incredible coaching staffs that we get the honor to sit there and watch right out of the gate at 11 a.m. Central and noon Eastern, right down the road from me here in beautiful O'Fallon, Missouri. Como is only a little over an hour away from me here. And I think this is going to be this game's going to have the goods, bro. And it's so fascinating. So something to do with the coaching matchup here that I want to bring up. I kind of brought it up last year when these 2 teams met. So Corey Batoon, the defensive coordinator for Mizzou, he's got some ties. He's coached under Hugh Freeze in the past. He's coached with Kane Womack when they were both at Ole Miss in the past when Hugh Freeze was there as well. But Kane Womack was the head coach at South Alabama before he took the defensive coordinator job at Alabama. When Kane Womack was the head coach at South Alabama, his defensive coordinator, Corey Batoon, who's, of course, the defensive coordinator now at Mizzou. So those 2 know each other really well. They know each other's tendencies, know what they want to do. I have no idea which one that means what for the other. Just saying I think it's pretty cool that's neat. Now let's go to the other side of the ball. Kirby Moore, offensive coordinator for Mizzou. He was a wide receivers coach, passing game coordinator, and coached under Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb at Fresno in the past. So again, obviously they know each other well. Not saying there's an advantage there one way or the other. It's just obviously these staffs and these coordinators know each other really well. So the cat and mouse game there is going to be really interesting between the coordinators and to see who can gain what advantage there. Obviously, Mizzou having 2 weeks off. I love how Drink, always keeps it real. He basically regurgitated what you just said, man. He was talking about Ty Simpson from Alabama, and he was like, look, we can sit back in zone, and he'll probably just pick us apart. We can go man, and, there's a lot of different things he can do there. It really comes down to we've got to find a way to get pressure on him, to speed him up, and do what every single quarterback that wants to be a pocket passer, that wants to sling the ball around the yard, everything that always gives them trouble is you get pressure right up in their face. Can Mizzou do that? Because like you said, if they don't, that wide receiver core for Alabama is just too good to drop back over and over and over again in pass plays, and for you to cover all 4 or 5 of them play after play after play and not expect them to get open. Like, it's going to happen. They're going to get open, so you've gotta be able to get pressure on Simpson. Alabama on the other side of the ball, I mean, this Mizzou rushing attack, man, like you said, is legit. That outside zone run game, they're gonna stress the perimeter of Alabama's defense big time. And,
Dude, Ahmad Hardy, like we should have had him in our top running
yeah.
backs over Mekhi Hughes.
Oh, I agree, but I mean, a lot of people should have
Mhm.
had Ahmad Hardy higher. But Hardy and, like, this whole running game in general for them, like Jamal Roberts, the backup running back behind Ahmad Hardy, he's legit too. Perbula obviously is really good with his feet. He's going to have to use his feet. So the game plan for Alabama is, in my opinion, defensively is simple. You got to be able to slow down that running game. You don't have to like stuff it. Obviously, that's great if you can stuff it and stop it. I want to see, this is a college football fan. I want to see if Bo Perbula can drop back and beat a legit defense when the game's on his shoulders to just sling the ball around the yard and get people open, throw it to Rasek, him win the game, put the game on his shoulders, and him throw the football. I want to see if Alabama can slow down that running game to where it makes Bo Perbula have to do that. He may show us and show the whole world that he can. But like that's got to be Alabama's game plan defensively in this game. Now you already said it too. The record at home for Mizzou over the last several years has been ridiculous, man. I mean, Eli Drinkwitz over the last 3 years in general. Like I'm pretty sure they won 11 games counting their bowl game 2 years ago. They won 9 or 10 games last year. They're off to whatever undefeated start
Yep.
this year. I mean, dude, they're winning at a high clip the last 3 years. And the casuals out there have not recognized Mizzou yet this year.
Dude, I feel like they're a little bit like Indiana last year. Like they're not like they don't have like the history of just awfulness that IU football
Right.
had. But we're talking about Missouri football here. Like they've been to one SEC championship game, sure, but like they don't have a history. Two SEC, yeah, they don't have a history of winning though. Like they
They've been good.
are
They
kind of
were
looked
really
at like
good in
you
the
always talk about, like the little puppy dog of the SEC about how you guys should be honored you get to play in the SEC, right?
Yeah, that's how people treat them, and they shouldn't treat them
Yeah,
that way. They really shouldn't. But I agree. Like other SEC like fans, casuals around the country, like again, they're looking at this game like, oh yeah, look at Mizzou, they're pretty good this year or whatever. Dude, Mizzou's been badass for 3 years. Like, come on,
yeah,
and they were really good under
yeah.
Gary Pinkel for a long time. But yeah, no, I agree with you. That's how people treat them. So this is
But
an
it just kind of feels like they're just flying under the radar a little bit
Yep.
in the rankings. They're just kind of winning games. They're creeping up. They're up to number 14 now. Like kind of how Indiana was just winning games against who they should beat last year. And now they get up to their test. And, will they be like Indiana and falter, or will they, get that big win? I don't know.
No, well, dude, let me just say this though: if Mizzou wins this game, dude, this is such a huge game for Mizzou in so many reasons. Like what you just said, like it really like they will then garner the respect of everybody nationally. They'll have everybody's attention if they go out and win this game. They should already have everybody's attention, but I get it. There's people out there because they've got the 109th ranked strength of schedule right now that they don't have
Yeah.
everybody's attention. But if they go out and win this game, that gets everybody's attention. But dude, more than that, you look at Mizzou's schedule going forward,
Yeah.
they are very much so like they already are as we stand here right now. They are a playoff contender. But if they win this game, they are a legit like they would have to screw up in my opinion to not make the playoffs at this point. Like they would
Yeah.
have to all of a sudden like lose games that they shouldn't lose to not make the playoffs if they go out and win this game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. This isn't some it's not like your typical, you just look at it on its face, Alabama versus Mizzou. They're going to go and they're going to beat them. Like,
agreed.
this is a 3-point spread for a reason. Like last week, Texas was favored by 4.5 for a reason.
Yep.
And Florida went in and they took care of business. And I was doing my research in this game. And obviously the home dog record for Missouri, the underdog record as a whole for Missouri the last 3 years being 12-6, that's a 66% rate. The home record, all this stuff, number 2 pressure rate, Ahmad Hardy, you know, all that stuff. This is our third big game breakdown, and this is my third best bet. I'm gonna go against all that stuff, man. I'm gonna take Alabama -3. I'm gonna take Alabama -3. I think they get it done, man. I know what you talked about. It's gonna be tough for them to get through this schedule unscathed the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the spot to trip them up. I had them preseason winning this game, so I'm gonna stick with that. There's a spot here in a couple weeks that we'll talk about in a couple weeks, obviously, that I think is more likely to trip them up. But this game being at noon, too, you know my affinity for road teams at noon. I think Alabama comes in focused. I think you say DeBoer with the black hoodie on the sidelines, and they keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, he's gonna have that black hoodie on, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a one possession game, man. One possession, somewhere between like that, touchdown to 10-point game. Uh, I'm also taking Alabama as a best bet in this game. Uh, and again, I don't think it's because Alabama is just so much better than Mizzou or something like that. I really don't. Uh, I think that we are getting a chance here to. I'm gonna use the phrase buy low a little bit. I don't know if it's necessarily that's the case or not. It's the way I feel about it. That I'm getting Alabama here at a 2.5 3-point line. I actually got it at 2.5. It dropped to 2.5 yesterday, and I saw that, and I just said, you know what, I've got to take a shot at that. So I took Alabama -2.5 in this game against Mizzou. I think Alabama will be stressed defensively by that Mizzou running game. I do think Prbula will make some plays. I just think Alabama's offense is going to be really, really, really tough to stop. Them finding their running game with Jam Miller last week, as good as that offensive line's been playing for Alabama the last 2 to 3 weeks. I think Alabama finds a way to get it done. It will be, for Alabama fans, extremely stressful. Be a very close game, well played game. I think there's going to be some points scored in this one. I think Mizzou will have some success on offense as well with Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts and those two legit receivers, Kevin Coleman and Marquise Johnson. And man, from right here in my backyard, Brett Norfleet from O'Fallon, Missouri, one of the best tight ends in college football so far this season. Dude's a weapon. He's going to make some plays too for Mizzou. I just think Alabama in that passing game and the ability to be more balanced now on offense, they'll find a way to get it done and win this game out, around one possession and cover that 2.5-point spread.
All right, I got 3 best bets so far. I got many, many more coming today, so stay tuned. All right, that's it for us. Stay tuned for this weekend. We'll be coming at you with our Week 7 reaction show. Again, follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, all that, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. You know the deal. You know by now. You know by now you should be subscribed to this channel. You should be following us on all socials. So for Lance Barton, I'm Tyler Noe. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time.